project 2 years ago, and so they updated everything. They put these new video boards in and resurfaced the floor of the gym. This is our competition gymnasium for basketball and for volleyball. The basketball and volleyball coaches' offices are there looking directly over the court. And our women's basketball team won the national championship the same year that our men's soccer team won the national championship in 2003. So you can see it's a great facility. Here in the lobby, you have all of the team sport national championship trophies displayed over there, and all of the individual sport national championship trophies here. So these are, cross country, track and field, swimming and diving primarily. Ruth Hahn, diving most recently, and the individual sports. Todd Wildman was here at the same time that I was, and he's an assistant coach for the track and field team here. Kristen Schumann won 4 national championships, which is pretty incredible. She was a year ahead of me, but I knew her when I was here. And then as far as team sports goes, most recently baseball in 2016, men's soccer and women's basketball in 2003, like I said, and then men's and women's tennis were the powerhouse sports at this school originally. So, when we walk past the tennis courts, you'll see there's a number of Wimbledon and Grand Slam champions that played their college tennis here, which is really cool. This is the Student Fitness Center. Any student can swipe in to use this facility anytime the building is open, which is normally 6 a.m. to midnight or something. We have a second separate weight room that is athletes only that I'll show you in a second. Most schools don't even have something like this, to be honest. The plexiglass shields I find particularly annoying. I apologize for that obstructing your view, but feel free to walk through. You can see that it's very well supplied and equipped with dumbbells and free weights, platforms and racks, as well as machines.
Do you guys lift the light season?
We lift in season as well as in off season. Almost all of that would be small group or team lifts in the athletes weight room, the sports performance center. But a lot of our players will come in here sometimes to do extra work or whatever. So in season, you're primarily looking at injury prevention and maintenance, which is a word that I don't like, but if you don't strength train during the season, you're going to lose. So you're not necessarily trying to get stronger, but you're pushing yourself so that at the end of the season, you're just as strong as you were at the beginning. And then obviously in the off season, that's when you're really looking to get performance results out of what you do. And this is actually a 2-story fitness center. So on the top floor here, you'll see we have a studio that you can use for yoga and Pilates classes or for spin classes. We've got treadmills and ellipticals and stair climbers and stationary bikes and a couple rowing machines here, not to mention a really nice view of campus. So the studio is here. Again, the plexiglass is really annoying. I can see what that facility is like. So that's a really nice space that we could use for a team recovery session. And then you've got all of this. And then here at the end is a study room. There's actually a number of these throughout the building. You'll see another one right next to our locker room. Obviously, COVID sort of temporarily interrupted that functionality and purpose, but when the building was redesigned, we wanted it to be not just a functional space, but also a space where the student athletes would come and hang out. And this particular room has such an incredible view of our baseball field and upper campus.
This is one of the best view.
Sometimes I'll come in here instead of working in my office if there's no students that have already played it.
And that is it's like a clear of the view for that yes. Tower.
So the tower is obviously one of our logos and landmarks. It is the highest point in the city of San Antonio. We're cheating a little bit because it's built on a hill. The Tower of the Americas is a taller structure, but if you're at the top of our tower, you are higher than you are if you go to the top of the Tower of the Americas. And climbing the tower is sort of a rite of passage ritual for students because you get to do it two times. Once at the conclusion of your freshman orientation, and then as part of your commencement ceremony when you graduate. So you get to do it kind of bookending at the beginning and at the end. And when you climb it the second time, you can sign a brick along the stairs on your way up. So my signature's up there somewhere.
That fountain in the winter season is deep, is very tough.
Yeah, the fountain probably does get cold. So the building is not named after this bell. It's named after a trustee. But the bell is the trophy for the school in our conference that has won the most conference championships across all the sports. And I've been here 4 years as a player and 10 years as a coach, and it's always been here. So we like to believe that, that's where it belongs.
Thank you.
So the trophies here in this case are just the conference championship trophies from all the sports from the most recent year. After 1 year, each sport gets to keep them and display them wherever they want, but you can see just what Trinity teams did in the past year. We're successful as an athletic department across all sports. Our volleyball team, football team, men's and women's soccer team this fall were all nationally ranked. Our women's basketball team is nationally ranked. Our baseball team every year is nationally ranked. And the athletes and actually the whole student body all support each other. So it's a really good environment for you as a student athlete, which is cool. And then there's a lot of other history in here. We could spend an hour just talking about all of that stuff, which we will not do. But Lance Key was the first player from the soccer program to go pro. So that's one of the main soccer displays here in this case. And then kind of tucked behind there, but you can see a photo of the team celebrating in Times Square when we won the national championship in 2003. The tournament was hosted in upstate New York that year at Drew University. So they went to Times Square to celebrate, and that the guys in that photo you wouldn't recognize now, of course. Yeah. But if you ended up coming here, you would end up meeting a lot